Do you think our ancient ancestors sat around campfires debating the benefits of keto versus vegetarianism or counting calorie content? Probably not. The simple life sustaining act of feeding ourselves and giving our bodies nutrition has gotten more and more complicated through the ages. Let's take a few minutes to discuss the popularity of diets and the reasons certain weight loss clients might want to adopt them. I'll bet within 30 seconds of me asking that question, what popular diets do you know of? You could rattle off an impressive list of diets and popular supplements. I mean, between television, social media, billboard, magazines, friends, and family, the volume of information is overwhelming. There's no doubt your clients will ask you about things they've heard and seen. It's up to you to help sort through the noise and point them toward the plan that works best for their particular need. Just be sure you don't overstep your scope of practice by actually prescribing a diet plan. Your job is to coach your clients in a way that supports them. In this case, it's providing them the education and facts and insights pertaining to the foods they choose to eat. If a client does require a specific diet based on medical needs, refer them to the appropriate medical professional. Each individual will have their own personal reasons behind their dietary choices. Convenience, taste preferences, and personal ethics will all play a role. These factors, plus personal experience of what works for people, are the main reasons why there are so many popular mainstream diets. Get to know what your clients like and dislike, any health concerns, restrictions, all that good stuff. So, let's take a quick look at some of the more popular diets that are out there. DASH, Mediterranean, Paleo, and keto diet plans have some similarities, leaning toward non-processed food. But there are some differences that could make them more or less palatable and sustainable to a person. DASH was developed to improve hypertension, so there's a big sodium reduction. The downside was the difficulty for most people to eat high quantities of fruits and vegetables while keeping their fat intake low. So researchers have been testing modified versions of the DASH diet and finding them to be successful, with one common theme: eating a diet based around minimally processed whole foods benefits health regardless of the precise macronutrient breakdown, as long as calorie intake is balanced with energy expenditure. The Mediterranean diet, which gets its name after following the dietary patterns observed in some Mediterranean cultures, cuts way down on red meat, emphasizing fish and seafood instead. There's also an uptick in heart-healthy nuts, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and olive oils. The Mediterranean diet has been shown to improve the overall health of people through weight loss, and even independent of weight loss, which means that it can be a useful dietary pattern to follow in many circumstances. The Paleolithic, paleo, or caveman diet, as it's sometimes called, is a return to eating like our pre-agricultural ancestors, with food that was obtained hunting and gathering in nature. So no dairy, and no foods with added fat, salt, or sugar, like bread and cereal. Paleo is based around lean meats, fish, fruit, vegetables, eggs, and nuts. This diet has shown to produce improvements in weight, waist circumference, and fat mass, as well as metabolic variables like blood pressure, triglycerides, cholesterol, and inflammation. Overall, adherence to the paleo diet can be higher than many other popular options in some populations. Next up, the ketogenic diet, also referred to as simply the keto diet, takes an approach that incorporates a shift to higher quantities of healthy fats and a very restricted carb intake. Keto is a good example of a trend that may be a little misleading. The science doesn't actually back weight loss being due to the state of nutritional ketosis, as it's no more effective than a non-ketogenic, low-carbohydrate intake. It's about less calories, like all the others. There are also more extreme variations on either end of the spectrum, such as carnivore and vegan diets. The carnivore diet is centered around eating exclusively animal products. There's currently very little published research on health effects, although there are numerous social media testimonials of people curing a variety of ailments. Without specific, smart supplementation, however, such a restrictive diet can be potentially harmful and increase the risk of nutrient deficiencies such as vitamin C, vitamin E, and calcium. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have vegan diets, which are plant-based and exclude all animal products. Many vegans tie an ethical argument to this lifestyle decision. Like the carnivore diet, supplementation is needed to reduce the risk of nutrient deficiencies, such as iron, vitamin B12, and choline. Some people opt to diet by simply eating a very restrictive number of calories per day. This can achieve rapid weight loss, but also rapid weight gain when the individual returns to normal eating. There is some evidence that more rapid weight loss may lead to better long-term outcomes if there is a solid plan for the reintroduction of calories. However, slower approaches to weight loss may have slightly more favorable results when it comes to body composition. Intermittent fasting is another approach that is gaining a lot of scientific traction right now. It works best in tandem with diets that focus on what's being eaten, to add the element of when they're eating it. Research is showing some positive cardiometabolic changes, as well as glycemic control, insulin sensitivity, blood pressure, and oxidative stress benefits, most of which are due to the reduction in overall calorie intake that occurs as a result of restricted feeding windows. There are several variations of intermittent fasting. It just depends on if any make sense and feel feasible to your clients. There's no one diet that works for everyone. It's personal and individual. Talk through the pros and cons of each with your clients to determine which could offer benefits to them. By helping a client find a dietary pattern that works best for them, you can make it feel manageable, safe, and more like a delicious adventure that they can go on for a lifetime.